Everyone. So I'm super excited to share with you today a review of a brand new test collection from Bath & Body Works. It is known as the Beach Day Coastal Cool 14 candle collection. It currently is in a test phase. Based on the amount of effort they've put into the line and the changes they've made to the look and style of the candles, as well as the notes and sort of the intricate blends that they have put into the fragrances, I do anticipate that this probably will go wide. At some point, it would surprise me if it was a complete flop, although stranger things have happened in the past with things like the Forest collection, Eucalyptus Mint collection, a lot of the way back original Gold Lid Aromatherapy Home collections flopped and never went wide. So this may not end up going nationwide to all stores, but I have a feeling that there's a very good chance that it may. When it does, I'm not really sure. I would assume something like maybe April, but probably not much later than that, because after that you're starting to hit semi-annual sale territory in late June. So it's kind of a crazy collection. You see here I've got 5 of them plus a little crab there hanging out since we're at the beach. So there are 8 in the collection total. I purchased 5 of them. 3 of them I just really did not enjoy. And I love a couple of these and really like a few of the others. So kind of a surprise, but I think they've knocked it out of the park. It's very different from the Aloha Hawaii collection that they tested last month. Very different from your standard sort of coconut leaves, island margarita, more kind of specific, authentic, not that coconut leaves is authentically coconuts and leaves, but things like island margarita and peach bellini and all of that are a little bit more specific, you know what they are. Beach Cabana is different, that's in that collection. This collection reminds me a bit of some of the notes. It's not even, I would say it's a mix of some of like the Summer Boardwalk 2012 collection, but there's also some blends in here that remind me a bit of just kind of the Tropical Lagoon line that was out back in 2011 or 2012. That was kind of tropical, but not fruity drinks, but different sort of tropicals. So it's a mix of a lot of different things. So first I will talk about the 3 candles that I did not purchase. I took photos of those, so I will try to put those in the video here so you can see them, or you can check out facebook.com/TouchTheFireTwice for high quality photos of the 3 that I did not purchase. So the 3 I didn't grab were, let's start with the first one, Turquoise Waters, which the notes on that one read as sea spray, sunlight, and beach grass. Now to me, that one, I'm trying to remember, it smelled, I didn't like it because it smelled sort of like your standard Oceanside. It was actually, I'd say, like a mix of something sort of like a bit of maybe Dockside even from the Lakeside collection last year, which I don't remember if this one went wide or not. There were a lot from that collection that didn't. As well as, of course, your standard kind of Oceanside, which has like kind of the ocean air and just like really intense, what is this? You know, this is melon, ocean air, and citrus. They don't give you many notes on the Turquoise Waters, again, other than sunlight, beach grass, and sea spray. So it could be a duplicate for some candle that I'm not thinking of, but I just really didn't, it was kind of like been there, done that, didn't need it. The next one was Perfect Wave, which read as water flowers, eucalyptus, and surf. Now to me, people may disagree, but to me this was a straight up repackaged duplicate of a candle that I liked originally, but I'm over at this point. It's been repackaged enough times that I'm done with it. And that is Eucalyptus Mint and Rain number 6. The notes on this just say, you know, raindrops with a lush fragrance of Eucalyptus Mint, which also came back last summer as White Barn Summer. Focus on that. The notes were water blossoms, mint leaves, a hint of eucalyptus. And then finally it also sort of returned in the Black Sands of the Aloha Hawaii collection. Not an exact duplicate, but quite similar. So it was one of those where I was just, again, been there, done that, didn't need it. And then finally the third one that I left behind was Sunset Beach. It said fruit pops, sugarcane, and sun rays. I like the idea of it. Sort of just a fruity, sweet blend, maybe of like, you know, a crushed ice sort of treat you could get on a beach day. But it had almost no scent to it. It was very, very light. And I would even say that it had almost no fragrance to it. It smelled almost as light as some of like the Spring Street Sweet Shop collections that really just don't have much, you know, throw to them, for some of them at least. And it seemed like it would belong there more than in a beach collection. So that was that. Then we've got the 5 here that I did purchase, which again, I'm pretty excited about. So let's first talk about what the candles look like, the changes they've made to them, and then I'll go into sort of my in-depth sniff and review to tell you what I feel like they're like. Let's start looking at Coastal Sun. So Coastal Sun, the candles here, now this lighting is very intense, it's like we're at a beach right now. It's a mix of, it's like very bright but also dark at the same time. There are no lids, which are interesting. Now, I saw a haul photo on Facebook, and her candle, one or two that she purchased from this collection, did have a lid. Maybe they're throwing plain lids on just because they realized it was so impossible to wrap these and to stack them and whatever. But when I purchased them, no lids. They all have a frosted glass, so it's not your typical plain glass. They're that kind of, you can kind of almost hear it, like a frosted glass. The labels on the bottom show you the same image, shadowed image, as the labels that you get on the top. Full notes, whatever, price $22.50, of course. They were on sale too for $25. And then the interesting thing to this is instead of a lid and instead of a sticker, as you can see there are no stickers on these, you have sort of this pop out. There's a little tab here, and it just pops off, and it's just a plastic disc, which the thing that bums you out is it's disposable, or you have to kind of throw it away, because once you burn this and the wicks are a little crazy, it's going to be hard to sort of try to slide these back onto the wicks. So for storage for year over year, and just for storage in general, stacking up, 8 or 10 candles to have out, in your living room to burn at any one time, it makes it kind of difficult. At the same time, it's something different, it's interesting, it's something they're testing, they're trying out. And they're going again to sort of good or bad, listing just kind of like 3 different notes, kind of like they did with Destinations collection, where they said, the name of the candle and then the 2 notes that were in it, sort of the main players. That's what they're doing here. They're listing some of the notes, and then the bottom of the candles, I don't think it gives you a little bit more of a story, but it lists the exact same notes. So some of these are a little limited on what they're telling us they smell like, which can be a little difficult to figure out what's in them or what they are in that sense. But with no further ado, again, no promises, probably going to be a long video. Let's just admit that right out of the bat. Let's dive right into these. I would say these are, right off the bat, a mix of some new fragrances, some straight up repackages of old fragrances, and then maybe some twists, a little bit of a change on fragrances from years past. So, first up, let's look at Coastal Sun. So nice, and the waxes in the candles, right? Is that appropriate? The waxes are all your typical, white cream wax, but shouldn't make a big difference because the frosted glass will cover up any sort of dinginess they get. So Coastal Sun has the yellow frosted glass, yellow label. It says vibrant orange, zesty grapefruit, and bright California days. So all they're giving us is orange and grapefruit. Not a lot to go on, because California Days doesn't tell us anything. And it says here, catch some beautiful rays with this blend of vibrant orange, zesty grapefruit, and bright California days. Now, to sniff this, it also is tough because I can't really sniff the lids. I can try to sniff these things, but... Now, you might think, okay, grapefruit and orange, is it just going to be like a typical lemon? Is it going to be limoncello? Is it going to be fresh lemon? Is it going to be pomelo grapefruit from the brand new Fresh Peach Collection 2014? No. Now, I do believe it's a duplicate, but it's a duplicate repackage from an old scent. And that is, I've got it over here, from the archives of my collection here, Citrus Flower. Now, this had to be, I want to say 2010, maybe was summer 2011, possibly summer 2011, right before they changed the labels for the fall collection that year. And the notes on this one were the perfect blend of Meyer lemon, sparkling mandarin, and orange flower layered with sweet jasmine and green verbena. So, now the important thing is, most of us probably haven't smelled it, so the important thing is to tell you what it does smell like. This is super sweet. There's so many florals listed in this one. Well, let me smell Coastal Sun, just to be sure that I'm giving you the proper sniff and review. So if anyone knows that one, that's what it smells like. But if you don't know that one, sorry, I have to pick it up to get a good sniff, but I can leave you the label here. Coastal Sun, right? Okay. So Coastal Sun, it's citrus, but it's really one of the best citruses. It's a little bit similar to fresh lemon, but there's more to it. Not a lot more to it. Definitely not your limoncello, because there's more going on, which fresh lemon had more going on. I would say it almost reminded me, the Citrus Flower at least, reminded me almost of like Trix, or no, Fruity Pebbles cereal. Some people just smell it and say, oh, it's another citrus, another lemon, but To me, it's very sweet, sugary lemon, but doesn't remind me of sugared lemons, doesn't remind me of limoncello, doesn't remind me, again, somewhat of fresh lemon, because that was surprisingly complex, that old candle. But to me, I'm thinking it is citrus flower. I don't get flower notes in there, but I didn't get flower notes in the citrus flower candle either. So either way, super bright, again, vibrant, zesty, daytime coastal sun. This really is what you want a sun candle to smell like. So that's a major thumbs up for me. It smells strong enough that there should be a really nice throw, which sometimes some citruses like a Sicilian orange or something like that, even limoncello, don't always have the strongest throw. I think this one will do pretty well with the throw, so that made me happy. Let's move on to palm leaves. Let's see if I can move these around. And it's weird, they've got the frosted glass really is like, it makes them feel more delicate in a way because like they bump up against each other and it sounds like, sandpaper. Now this is a nice sort of medium dark green frosted glass here. And palm leaves, obviously there's palm trees on here. They say green palm, aloe, and agave. And then the notes on the bottom. Palm tree dotted beaches and bright sunny days are in this blend of green palm, aloe, and agave. Now agave, unless they mean the plant, I don't think there's much of a scent to that. If they mean agave nectar, that's just sort of like the high fructose corn syrup version of the agave plant. It's used in a lot of tropical drinks or margaritas now, and it's even sold at places like Walmart and Sam's Club as a natural sweetener, but there's a lot of like science saying that agave actually is not healthy. It originally said that it was like low glycemic and all this, but it's actually kind of junky apparently. But again, total tangent there. Green palm, aloe, which aloe is in a lot of fragrances, but aloe itself I don't think really has much of a scent. So I think it's just they call things aloe when it's green, fresh, slightly tropical, not grassy, But let's sniff it and see what we think here. Let's try sniffing this first. I really like that. Now this, I think, is a duplicate. Not positive, but let me show you what I think it may be, which after I realized the name made sense. And that is White Palm from, this I think may have been out for 2 years, maybe just 1 year, not entirely positive. This was, I think, 2011. No, I'm sorry. This was definitely 2012, maybe came out in 13. I think it might have just been 1 year, 2012. This was like the, Sunrise Lagoon and the original Tiki Beach and Sea Spray, Jungle Kiss were all in this collection. Now the notes here were like a warm Caribbean breeze, refreshing white palm leaves, and dewy greens combined perfectly with sweet peach blossoms. And if I smell this, and I really loved White Palm. Oh man, it's surprisingly, like, it's one of those random ones that just sticks with you as really fantastic. But Tiki Beach kind of won that year as far as the popular fragrance that came back. Yeah, I think this might be a straight up repackage of that, which makes sense. I mean, they're saying green palm, aloe, that's your greens, and agave, just your sweetness instead of peach, whatever. The slightest hint of, so again, we're on palm leaves here. The slightest bit of sweetness, so it's a sweet green, kind of like how beach grass was years ago, where it's green and it's fresh, and it does seem oceany, but not at all in the kind of off-putting oceanside ozone sea spray air kind of note. Sweet and fresh in the way that like New and Refresh or Seashore were. It's not at all a duplicate of Seashore, even though I love Seashore. Actually, I have one here. Maybe I should do a quick sniff just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. I've got an old Seashore here. No, similar in sort of execution of the fragrance, but not the same. I really think it's White Palm, and really, I mean, the notes and even the name seem to make a lot of sense. Palm leaves, White Palm, this is green palm. How many palms are there? How different are they going to be? So that's, again, you see how hard that is to sort of get that all nailed down. Really, really like that. Fresh, slightly sweet, slightly green, the tiniest bit of sort of the lightest powder floral you'll ever see. You won't even really smell much of that, but it just kind of elevates it to just a little bit sophisticated, more than just like a kind of spa sweet fresh. It's a little bit more tropical evening, I would say, like at dusk. That's what I get from that one. Then where should we move to next? Let's go to Beach Day. Beach Day is one of my favorites from the collection, and it's kind of strange. So Beach Day, the notes are saltwater, lemon leaves, and citrus musk. Again, whatever that means. So saltwater could lean you towards your oceanside way. Lemon leaves, as opposed to juicy lemon, vibrant lemon, lemon rind, lemon zest, lemon peel, lemon leaves, and then citrus musk. I don't know what citrus musk smells like, but everyone knows musk is generally musky, leans more towards perfumes or florals. Now the notes on this one are blissful beach days are in this blend of saltwater, lemon leaves, and citrus musk. So they're really, all that open space there on the label, they can give us so much more, and they just let it hang out. Let me sniff this. I know this is, it's not making it easy to do videos, I'll tell you that. I love this. Oh gosh, do I love this. Now, based on the label, you would think maybe like beach grasses or something, but no. I will tell you right off the bat, the way that Mahogany Teakwood is a men's cologne and the way that Boathouse Row is a specific men's cologne, and I think folks even said that Paris Daydream may be a specific, like Aqua di Gio or something like that. This is absolutely a body fragrance duplicate of a major supplier of body fragrances, of perfumes and colognes. Now, I don't know exactly what it is. It leans more towards men's, but incredibly bright, incredibly fresh, almost like a unisex, the way that, you know, Calvin Klein has all the unisex colognes. I don't know, but really it smells, someone else when they smell this is going to know exactly what it is. Walk into Macy's, walk into Sephora, walk into any place that sells tons of fragrances, and you will be able to pick this up. This is probably in like top 10 lists of fragrances, which is why they would, you know, bring this out as far as popularity, because people will recognize it and say, oh my gosh, this smells just like blank. Not Cool Waters, not, again, I don't know, it's very, very mainstream, but in a nice way. It's not some crazy, unique, high-end, like, you know, $150 cologne. It's your standard kind of like $60 men's cologne, not a super intense EDT or anything like that. But it's so nice. It really smells like you're, like what happened, like as soon as you walk into Macy's in the summer and they're in the fragrance department, that's what it smells like. I wish I knew for you guys what it was, but I'll try to just, I guess, describe the scent itself. So let me sniff the candle. So we're on beach days here, or beach day. Yeah, it's got, it's like you just sprayed a spritz of cologne or an intense body spray. Again, I almost would say unisex, because it's not cologne in the way that people usually describe scents as cologne. That's for sure. It's got citrus. It's definitely has sort of the salt water. There's some green to it. Overall, just very bright. Like the citrus musk, I don't know that I'd even call it musk, unless you'd say like a pop of citrus musk, because it's bright. I mean, it's not like putting on, you know, just some sweet kind of Axe body spray or something. There's definite, you know, mid, high, and lows to this. There's green in here. There is the citrus. There's something a tiny bit dark and mysterious, where it's not overwhelmed. Like, I don't really like sporty men's fragrances where it's just all light, high, artificial, you know, synthetic and citrusy and, you know, notes like that. But there's more depth to this. Oh gosh, I would, if any of you know, like, sort of popular, common, I mean, it could be like Polo or, you know, Tommy Hilfiger or something from, I don't know, like Dolce & Gabbana or Cartier or, you know, John Varvatos. I don't know, but I love it, and I hope you guys love it too. So that's Beach Day. Again, not a lot to say on it except that it is a very, very bright unisex body fragrance that I hope you guys love. Then, what have we not hit here? There's Suntan and Pacific Coast Highway. Let's do Pacific Coast Highway. Now, I love this deep, deep cobalt blue glass. Now, this glass, I will say, they don't all look the exact same, like even fragrance to fragrance, or, you know, the same fragrance, because it's almost like it's like clear glass that they sort of, there's some process that sprays it. As you can see, like up here, it's a little bit, it gets a little bit thinner as you can see through it. Like a process that sprays, I think, the color on, perhaps to frost it, because, let's see, feel the inside is smooth, so just worth noting. Pacific Coast Highway, which of course is in California, so this is more of a California coastal, obviously, collection. Ocean Mist, Vetiver Woods, and Pacific Breezes. That could lean cologne. Experience one of America's most iconic drives with a blend of ocean mist, vetiver woods, and Pacific breezes. Let's see. Oh, that's really nice. It leans a little cologne-y. Ladies, fair warning, it's a little cologne-y, but I think it's bright enough that you'll still love it. And let's face it, things like Sage and Cedar from the test collection early last year and in the fall failed, but as soon as they were thrown into black tie, people bought them up, it went wide, and it was a pretty big success. So give it a chance. You can like slightly cologne-y fragrances if you give them a chance. Now this, I hate to say that Beach Day and Pacific Coast Highway are slightly both cologne-y because this collection is not cologne-y. You want it to be beach, you want it to be bright, you want it to be fun, you want it to be high-end blends that aren't just, you know, summer boardwalky kind of sweets. This is absolutely the collection for you. And this doesn't smell like cologne, it's just you can't put your finger on exactly what it is. Now, I do think it's sort of a duplicate or mix of two different past fragrances. First, let's talk notes from the bottom here. Oh, we already did that, yeah. Ocean Mist, Vetiver Woods, and Pacific Breezes. Doesn't give you much. The first thing that I thought it may be kind of related to, now bear with me here, is this test fragrance from last year, Oak Moss and Vetiver from White Barn. Now, this was a weird test collection. It was for Oak Moss and Vetiver, Whitewater Birch, Sage and Cedar, and... oh my gosh, I'm gonna kick myself. Whitewater Birch, Oak Moss and Vetiver, Sage and Cedar, and Sandalwood Citrus. Sandalwood Citrus came out in the fall, Sage and Cedar came out in the fall. I think Sandalwood Citrus went wide, Sage and Cedar failed. Sage and Cedar then came back as the ever-popular black tie in the Celebrate the Night collection. So they can be called and look like one thing, and then they come out later as completely different notes, completely different marketing, and the same scent. We haven't seen Whitewater Birch. I think that Oak Moss and Vetiver, which the notes on this one were Oak Moss, Vetiver, and Lavender, I think it's probably a little bit of that in there, and it made sense because I said, oh, it reminds me of that. Well, Oak Moss and Vetiver, Vetiver Woods are in there. That can work. Lavender's light enough that could be in Pacific Coast Highway. Pacific Breezes, what's in a Pacific Breeze? Is there moss out there? Is there Spanish moss growing on the palm trees like in Florida? I don't know, maybe. That could be mossy, right? Now, Oak Moss and Vetiver is heavier. Again, I've always said it smelled a little bit like a men's, a cheap men's shaving cream, like foam shaving cream, like Barbasol or Neutrogena or something like that. It's not exact duplicate of that. And actually, the more I sniffed it, the more I feel like it's a closer dupe or mix of a favorite of a lot of folks, and that's Robina Waters. Now, Robina Waters hasn't come out since, I think, 2012. It came out in 2011, I think, originally, maybe even 10. This is the 2011 label. And then it came out in 2012, and then it hasn't been back since then. There was, in the Dockside, there was the Lakeside Candle, which was pretty much a duplicate of this, but I don't think that one went wide. I can't remember. The notes on this are a fresh blend of citrus, watery Robina, sweetened with peach and rich sandalwood. So if you say, okay, Vetiver, Pacific Breezes, and what's the first thing they say? Ocean Mists. Okay, well, you've got watery, watery Robina, there's citrus in the ocean. It's hard to say. Now, if I smell these, gosh, I do love Robina Waters. That is a good candle, strong candle. And then I smell this. I'd say I feel like it's maybe 80%. It's a little brighter, maybe a little brighter and more fresh, not quite as heavy and green. It's certainly not as heavy as Oak Moss and Vetiver. I'd say it's like an 80% Robina Waters, 20% Oak Moss and Vetiver. Really nice, interesting, and again, it borders on cologne without being what I think most people would consider cologne. It's airy. It's, you're hitting, again, really Pacific Breezes. You're getting some woodsy stuff because there are trees around, and just a little bit, a little something extra. So I think it's really nice. So that is, what have we got here? Beach Day, Pacific Coast Highway, Coastal Sun, Palm Leaves. Finally, Suntan. Now, you hear Suntan, you think, oh, okay, well, it must be Suntan from the Boardwalk Collection 2012 that came out in 2013 as Poolside, and then 2014 in the test destinations as Sunny St. Tropez. Now, the notes on this were orange flower, yuzu, and coconut husk, and then Poolside had different ones, and Sunny St. Tropez had different ones. And so I was excited because I thought, okay, well now finally, since Sunny St. Tropez didn't go wide in Destinations collection for the French Riviera, maybe they're going to release, Suntan Poolside in this collection, which would make sense. Sort of the images even show that, the surfboards. and it would be, you know, a great release and everyone would love it. But then I read the notes: sun-drenched flowers, neruli blossom, and driftwood. And it says on the bottom, this is a very similar color to Beach Day, actually. Hello, sunshine. It's time to hit the sand with this blend of sun-drenched flowers, neruli blossom, and driftwood. Again, useless as far as the notes go. And then I sniffed it, and I tell you, I was in the store, and it seems so pathetic to be so excited over candles, but I got so excited. I should have thrown 3 of these in my bag in case it doesn't go wide. This is the return scent of, I think, my first beachy scent that I've smelled from Bath & Body Works, and to this day, my ultimate favorite. That is Beachside. Some folks didn't like Beachside. It came out, I think, in like the ultimate trio of top scents back in 2010, and it was Beachside, Coconut Leaves, and Mango Cilantro. They were just 3 scents, like late summer, back when they didn't do huge full collections at the same time, that they threw out there. And Beachside was plagued with low burn, so a lot of people had issues with it that way. Some people just didn't like it. But of course, Coconut Leaves and Mango Cilantro were hugely popular. Coconut Leaves has come back every year. Unfortunately, Mango Cilantro only came back in 2011, or in 2012, but not in 13 and now in 14. But just 3 amazing scents. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Now, Beachside was sort of replaced with White Sands in the Boardwalk collection, which, funnily enough, when Beachside was first out, there was a test scent called Island Sand, which, if anyone cares, I do have here, that I grabbed in a test store back then, Island Sand. This then turned into, for the Boardwalk collection 2012, I'm trying to reach, that then turned into White Sand, which I loved, but was more like a sister to Beachside. Certainly not an exact dupe, and similar, but not my favorite. But Beachside, let me just get into the notes first, and then I'll tell you what it smells like. It said, a lush, delicate blend of orange blossom, exotic ylang-ylang, and white musk. I don't know if the bigger candle said neruli blossoms, but, I mean, orange blossom, neruli blossom, kind of the same thing. A little bit of white musk and ylang-ylang, which they had ylang-ylang in one of their old aromatherapy collection, I think, maybe the Romance Essential line. Oh, you guys, this is so good. It's beachy. It reminds me a little bit of sort of like, you know, at least for me, you know, visiting grandma in Florida when you were a kid. And again, it's sort of like, there's a hint of kind of an old lady perfume without being powdery, or a hint of like, you know, decorative soaps, decorative hand soaps, kind of the way that I said Lily Pond smelled last year, which was the test scent that didn't go wide. It's just, but at the same time, it is that darn starfish on the beach. It is what you expect the beach to be. It's more conceptual, it's higher end, it's not green, it's not grassy, it's not sweet. It is borderline perfumey, but even though it has white musk, I don't get any powder from it. So there's thing here, neruli blossom, driftwood, I suppose a little bit of driftwood, and then flowers. I mean, maybe like a tiare blossom or something like that, but not a true floral. And I feel like, I hope not, but I feel like they may have toned this down. It could just be also, this smells so strong because the wax is so old, so like those oils are really concentrating. But, oh, that's Beachside. I urge you to try it if you haven't smelled it before. I definitely will buy more of those. It's by far my #1 in this collection, partly because I'm just scared that if it doesn't go wide, or if it's not a success, it may be the last chance to ever get more Beachside candles. I do think it's strange that Suntan, it came out of Suntan and not Beachside or Beach something, considering they had Suntan candle before, and it's not in this collection. It kind of goes to show how their marketing is a little crazy. It almost makes you wonder, like, did they hire a few new folks that just didn't realize the history of the collections? Because why would you do that? It's very strange. Unless it was a straight up mistake, I don't know. Anyhow, we're bordering 30 minutes here. So anyhow, this collection, weird, interesting. I kind of love it. I think folks are excited for it. It's something very different, unique. There are some returning fragrances, but they're slightly all reworked, revamped, kind of updated for the Coastal Cool 2014. But I love them. Beach Day, again, an evening, well, beach day. I'd call it beach evening, whatever. Slightly like the unisex sort of body fragrance. Palm leaves, your green, slightly sweet, calm, kind of watery green, tropical fragrance. Coastal sun, your bright pop of citrus, with a little bit of a tiny hint of maybe floral in there, but really just like your bright day. Pacific Coast Highway, you've got kind of the Urbana water side of things. Again, hard to explain, hard to describe, easiest to compare them. So hopefully this comparison video helped you guys out as far as that goes. We're hitting 30 minutes here. I should probably cut it short. I apologize if any of this is out of focus. It's very bright in here, so it's hard for me to kind of see the screen as I'm focusing. Feel free, let's continue the conversation here and also on facebook.com/TouchTheFireTwice. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer them. And until next time, take care.